Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of the ME Show. It's your boy Ali Medawi, aka your strategic partner. And man, oh man, I gotta tell you, I got a special one for you today. I'm usually not nervous. You know me, I speak in front of thousands and have in front of hundreds of thousands of people in my career, but I'm nervous in front of this guy because he actually inspired me, motivated me, and the reason why you see me do what I do every single day. If I could put my hair sideways like he does, I absolutely would. He is a comedian. He is an actor. He is a voiceover artist. He is an entrepreneur. He actually has his own shows, a producer, doing amazing, incredible things, a career of close to 2 decades. And I got firsthand seat throughout that whole, I'd say since since 2012 that I've really been paying attention to him. And he's from New Jersey. He actually is a local superstar. I refer to him as NJ's GOAT every time I share any of his stuff. And I am super, super humbled to be here next to the greatest of them all, the one and only Derek D, baby.
Oh man, I appreciate that intro is I'm humbled by it. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Thank
Ali,
you.
In the future, so while he's taking his first Oscar and all the big awards, make sure you say that I predicted it first, right? Like, Make sure Ali Medawi said Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, you name it, with the S's at the end. My man, I genuinely am humbled and grateful for you to be in here. And before I get into your story and your greatness and your gift and talent, and many people trust me when I tell you, you've seen his face before. If you've seen any of the ESPN Bet commercials recently with Stephen A. Smith, he's the one who orders the sandwich right after Stephen A. If you saw Petco commercials in US and Canada, he's the voice. We get it. PetSmart. Sorry, I apologize.
Not anymore, though. That was a couple years ago. I was the national.
But I can go on and on and on. You've done so many incredible things. And to see you being authentically you and not selling out is something that I admire and appreciate. But let me give you some context. 2012. 2011. At the time, my family and I owned a taxi company in Belmar, New Jersey called Jersey Shore Taxi. Now, I was a gangster back then. And what I mean by that, I used to bring the caddy, like I used to call it the Batmobile, where the guys drive the cab, and I would have my taxi license in the actual dashboard. And whenever somebody needs a cab, I'm like, look, I can get you a cab or you can hop on the caddy. And most people in the summertime with a drink, they're like, yeah. So I see him. I'm like, Derek D, what's up? He was like, hey, how you doing? He gave me that. Who the heck are you?
I was probably probably had some drinks.
A little bit of drinks in the system. And then you were with a few friends of yours. And I call my brother. I'm like, look, there's like 6 or 7 guys. I can only have 4 in the car. You can take the other. And you were like, is this legit? And I literally took my taxi license and I took my license. I'm like, here, check it out. It's legit. I'm like, look, man, I'm a fan. I follow your show, Fast Lane Daily at the time. And you were like, all right, looks legit. And you hopped on my caddy. And the 3 other guys hopped on my. Yeah, I know you don't remember any of this.
It's probably not because it's definitely not because of you. It's because of me.
But that was a moment that you don't even understand. I'm having like a Borat moment, like, oh my goodness, I have Brad Pitt in my car. I'm feeling the love and the excitement. And that's when I double down on watching you create and being consistent. And no matter what the amount of success or lack thereof by the judgment of society, you never compromise and you always have been pedal to the metal. And for that, it led to the ME studio and it led to the podcast and it led to me having enough confidence to say, this kid who was born in a third world country, I came in the United States on June 20th, 2002, and it was me no English. I haven't spoken a word of English to sit here and create content for companies and do what I do every single day. So I owe you 10%.
Listen, I everything you just said, I appreciate that so much. And I appreciate you saying, the fact that I stick to my authentic self, because I really do try to do that. And that's one of my writing partner and one of my close friends, Alan Kaufman, AK, he always says to me, he's like, Mr. D, with you, it's what you see is what you get. And you never waver one way or another. And you're just true to yourself. And I appreciate when I hear other people saying it. So thank you for saying that.
Without a doubt.
And I'm humbled about that. And I'm sorry if I don't remember that night particularly. because
we're talking about almost 2 decades
Yeah,
ago. You
yes.
are totally fine.
and I
Trust me.
probably had a handful of beers or
Yes,
more. And
yes, you absolutely did. For you guys to get on an unmarked car, it could have been God knows who. It tells you what kind of night it was, but it was a good time.
Sure, definitely.
And the interesting thing, we've met a couple of times. It would always be like a couple of years later, and we'll bump into each other, and
I do remember some of those.
Well,
Yeah,
I don't remember.
those.
We in that time I was hammered because every 2 seconds I see him like a drink. Yeah, like this one is for you because you're great, yeah, it's let's dive into behind the camera. People see you
Sure.
on commercials and they see the all the entertainment that you create, and the assumption is you're big time, you're Hollywood, but they don't understand the struggle and the fact that you are the writer, the creator, the producer, the editor, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And no, there is no, $100,000 per episode budget for everything that you do. So talk to us. How did this whole thing even start? Was it a high school thing that became where it is today? Or
no? So that's so basically how I got started in the business. So I was always outgoing and everything, right? And I always knew, I never knew I wanted to be an actor or performer or comedian, but I was always outgoing, but I was really good at art. So in high school I did, I was good at art. So I was like, let me go to college for art. So I went into college as a computer animation major. I was like, oh, I love Toy Story. I love Bug's Life, these movies. And then once I got there, I was like, whoa, this is like, you got to mold. It's like molding clay on a screen with a mouse and a keyboard. I was like, I'll switch it to graphic design. So I switched my major to graphic design, but beginning of my sophomore year of college, and like plays and stuff in my high school were like, you didn't really do it back then. It was in the gym. It wasn't good. Now the high school I went to, Neptune High School, has a beautiful theater, Broadway size fly system. If it had that, maybe things would be different. But like I said, I was always outgoing. And once I got to college, and this is the God's honest truth, it's like not a very deep thing. I saw this made for MTV movie, and you can look this up. It's called Together, like the number 2 together. And it was a movie about a fake boy band. And I watched this in my college dorm room, and I literally go, what the fuck? I can do this. And I went to Google. I was like, acting. Oh, I need headshots. So I found a photographer. I went in the city and got headshots. Then I just started finding about auditions somehow, because I had no agent, nothing like that. I mean, it's the catch-22. It's like, oh, I need to get this gig, but how do I get this gig? I have no experience on my resume, but in order to get experience, I need to get the gig and put it on my resume. So in the beginning, it's like, do as much free shit as you can. Just have to
get out there.
Yeah. And I was going on auditions. I was bombing, not getting anything, but I just kept doing it. And then I took acting class, and then I took comedy class, started doing stand-up, and I would do stand-up, and I would bomb, and I'd bomb, and I'd bomb, and I'd kill, and then I'd bomb, and I'd bomb. And you would just be like, it's so, you can't be a comedian or a performer without bombing and failing constantly. Like even now, still fail every day. I get told no every single day from multiple auditions that I've done the past week. Some are like, how in the world did I not book that? Or how did I not get a call back for that? And what I do is, maybe for a second I go, like I just had a gig. I didn't even get a call back for it. And literally they should have just put on paper, we're looking for Derek D. Does anyone know where he is? And I said to my agent, I was like, I didn't even get a call back for that. I said, that is bonkers to me. I go, you know what? Oh, well, in the past, move on. What are you going to do? Sulk about it? And that's what people do. They start auditioning, not getting anything. And they're like, fuck it, I'm out of here. You just gotta keep doing it. You're going to be broke. You're going to be mad. You're going to be upset. You're going to cry. You're going to have people in your family and friends and people that don't even know you. What are you doing? You suck. You're not good at it. Just keep moving forward. That's it. It's like the simplest advice,
but the hardest one to actually follow.
The hardest thing to do. But that was my start. Made for MTV movie. Started auditioning, and the rest is
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you've actually did make a boy band type of an act with you did do it, right?
I was in a boy band. I was in I've done a video. There's a video I did during the pandemic. It's going to be May, where I'm dancing all the 5 parts.
That was
for NSYNC. That
amazing, by the way.
That was a lot of work, but I
mean, it was
I
every song in it too. Well,
it was two different songs from NSYNC.
You did another one though that you did like a bunch of different songs. You were just flipping from one song to another.
Oh, that's called that's called Music Galore.
That was nuts.
And there's 4 of those.
Yeah,
there's
I mean,
4.
you even have Eminem part in there, like going
like
ripping it, like
So yeah, we're jumping around a little bit, but the boy band thing in college, I was in a boy band called Mixed Results with a Z.
Who named that?
We were trying to come up with a name, and that was what stuck because we're like, oh, we're all from different places, and you put us together, you get mixed results.
Yeah.
Okay, let's stick with that and just quick story about
about please.
That. We were going around to different talent shows around the state, and we were winning. We were doing all in sync. So we did this one show down in South Jersey, and we kept winning, and we won it, and we were like the only white kids there. It was and it was so fun. So and we ended up winning that, and all the women in the audience loved it. And all the dudes were like, get the hell out of here, all this shit. But after one of the shows, I think it was that show, Joe, the R&B singer, was either him or his manager was there, and we're like, hey, like, you guys are killing it. Like, what's your deal? Who sings? And because all we really did was dance at that point, but me and Andre could sing. You don't really need 2 guys that could really sing. And the others
in a boys band, there's the back vocals.
Guys, yeah, and Joe, for those who don't remember, he was the R&B singer that sang that song. I wanna know what turns you on. So, and he was on the "Don't Want to Be a Player" with Big Pun, huge song. And the guys got like spooked. And I was like, well, then what are we doing this for? Because why are we even doing this? I was on Say What Karaoke back in the day.
Wait, when you say spooked, like scared of the whole...
They were like, oh, this is getting serious. I said, then what are we doing this for? And only like me, Andre, and...
So I'm assuming none of those guys are in the industry right now.
No.
I mean, nothing but love for you fellas, but...
No, they're not. And I reached out to them. I'm still friends with those guys. Reach out. And I reached out to them during the pandemic for that It's Gonna Be May video. Yeah. I said, oh, what a fun idea. We'll each, because we all basically remember these dance videos. Yeah. So each of you guys record yourself doing your part, and I'll put it all together, and it'll be us, even though we're not together, but we're together. And 3 of the guys were like, nah, man,
I'm too old.
So I was thought about it. I was like, so you know what? I'll just do every part, but I'll wear different clothes, and I'll be in a different location for each
which
section.
You did phenomenal with that as well. Yeah, that was something. You see, and that's what I'm referring to. Like, there's a difference between, and look, I got other friends who, you know, they're attempting to be in the industry, acting and whatnot. I got a few friends. Shout out to Travis Whitaker. He does theater, a lot of theater, and he gets a lot of theater gigs.
Yeah, theater's great.
Yeah, but one thing that I do know is that you put a lot of work and money and resources into actually the production end of things. Yeah. So you went from this, you know, high school education. Let me go just be a graphic designer. Oh my God, I can do this. Boy band. All of a sudden, there's this spark of like, what are we doing this for? The decision is made. I'm gonna do this the right way.
Not necessarily the boy band thing, but just being in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
I did musicals in college, and I took tons of acting classes and things like that. Actually, I had to go another year of college because I took so many classes. Yeah. That didn't count towards my major. Yeah. So I was, which I didn't mind. I loved college. And it was right outside of New York City. It was in North Jersey. So, I mean, I decided to do that, but I kept my major. So I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts in graphic design. That's what I graduated with, because I said, you know what, having this skill, I could design all this stuff myself, create more work for myself, but I don't have to pay anyone. And it's going to be exactly what it,
and you're more valuable when you have
like the Asbury Park Monologues logo. Yeah. People are like, oh, I love that logo. Like, I designed that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys are seeing it on your screen right now because we got a great production team that's showing it to you.
There it is.
So let me dive into, when did you decide to start focusing on production and post-production, and, you know, the decision of buying equipment? I know it is not cheap to, you know, I'm not doing movies with Denzel, but I'm going to spend money on quality equipment, because I see your stories and you have quality equipment when you're doing showing the other side, when you're doing your auditions and whatnot. So,
yeah, no, there is, you do have to invest in yourself and get quality stuff, especially when it comes to the voiceover.
Yeah.
I have, just great equipment. And the fact is, like, yeah, it's expensive, but it's not that expensive.
Well, it has a great ROI. I mean, the more you invest
Right.
in yourself, the more you're going to get.
My
back into
voiceover
it,
equipment has paid when you include the computer, the monitors,
I mean, otherwise you would have ended up in a studio and hire production teams, and it adds up. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and with the cameras and stuff, especially nowadays, I mean, I have a few different cameras, but honestly, iPhones, what they can shoot is amazing. So I use that for a lot of stuff now. When I do like a big production, like when I did a Dear Entertainment Industry video that recently, that actually we didn't shoot on the iPhone. That was a legit camera, and had a couple other cameras from different angles. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely more in front of the camera guy, but I really learned a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, not from only getting gigs and being on set, of course, but it was the day in and day out of hosting the show Fastlane Daily, which I know you know of.
That's when that's when I fell in love.
Well, thank you. But it was the day in and day out of that. And I would see our editors working on the show, and I'd watch, because we always watch the show after. Oh, what is he doing there? Oh, okay, I'm seeing that. Oh, look at the sound guy doing this. So always very keen and watching. Why are the lights there? Why is the light there? Oh, I get it. Okay. So I just learned, and like kind of just by osmosis, I retained it and was slowly able to do it myself. And a lot of people ask, bring Fastlane Daily back, just do it yourself. And it's like, I'm not going to take a step back. If I do Fastlane Daily again, which I would, it has
to be a major
production. It's got to be done right, because we've already had it up here. Yeah. I'm not going to drop it down.
I have 1 billion views in YouTube alone with
Daily. Yeah. I mean, if you the amount of views between Fastlane Daily, and then I was a cast member of a huge channel called The Key of Awesome, which was a parody channel that did sketches and parodies and comedy sketches. And Mark shut that down about 5 years ago, but I mean, they had billions of views. So you had those views, the amount of Fastlane Daily views, like you've definitely seen me somewhere, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the amount of views.
So let me
over the years
put a specific question on that, because the perception in this generation now, if I just go viral, I made it. But there's a lot that goes, meaning like if you want to go professional in the entertainment business, and how in the world, I saw, King Bash this morning posted an OnlyFans model. She posted literally 500 images, 60 videos total. And she said, I'm retiring from OnlyFans. She made $67 million. When you hear something like that,
it's aggravating at the same time. It's because I always think the talent will rise to the top. Now there is all these, and forgive me, I hate the word influencer. I'm an influ. What do you mean you're an influ? Like, and there's so many of these. There is a lot of great.
Derek is building my monologue right now. Go on.
There is a lot of great comedians that are online, and there is a lot of funny people. And I mean, TikTok, a lot of it is a lot of great dancers, which is great. That's a great platform for that. But a lot of these people that are influencers, you take them out of that quick edit style and this and that, and you put them on stage with a mic under the lights in front of a live audience. Let's see how you do. So, because you didn't put in your 10,000 hours.
Woo, my guy. Now remember when I told you about why I'm signing up for the monologues? You were like, you're actually gonna. I'm like, yeah, because it scares the shit out of me.
It should.
I am terrified. I'm good. Give me a microphone and an audience, talk business, talk sales, talk marketing, inspire,
that's motivate. What you're
my 10,000 hours, right?
That's where you got your 10,000 hours.
But to get a laugh, like even thinking about it right now, this is why I was like, I'm nervous that you're coming in here, because guess what? In my head right now, and I gotta calm down. My brain is like, this is an audition, bro. Like
you're auditioning for me. I'm not one of the judges.
But it's not even about that. Just for who you are, because I study you. I watch and I study you a lot. I am a stalker. My mannerism when I'm recording an audio or when I'm recording a video for an client or doing anything, I actually try to say, okay, Derek is sitting right in here. No, for real.
What really
study you. No,
thank you.
Because it makes a difference. You can see, like, Like I don't do multiple takes. I like, if I'm gonna do a 5-minute video for a client, like I like it to be
One take.
beginning to end all the way. And if
Sure.
I mess up, nope, I got to do it all over again. Like, you can, no, I know, but I want it all over again.
Good for you.
Because I want it to be that perfection. And I watch a lot of your stuff all the time, and it inspires and it motivates. So the reason I signed up for the Asbury Park Monologues, which we're going to spend a little bit of time on talking about in this episode today, is because of what you just said. I am so good. I've done $2 billion of sales in the last 2 decades with different companies. Not that I made 2 billion, but we've done $2 billion of sales for them.
Yes.
And I'm extremely comfortable. Mic, camera, the biggest audience I've had was 17,000.
Great.
No problem. I can speak in front of people.
That's the first part, being comfortable in front of
that
people.
Does nothing to me, right? But they get a laugh. And I remember, dude, I got my first time speaking on stage, and everybody's like, you can hear a pin drop, right? Everybody's like, Mr. Medawi is speaking, pay attention. And then I said a joke, and it was a pin drop. And I'm like, shit, I'm out of state of motivation.
Yeah. I mean, I always tell people, get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You got to get out of your comfort zone. And, if you want to be good at anything, you need to put the time in.
Yeah.
Like, you have to fail. Like I said before, like earlier, fall flat in your face, bomb. People are not going to believe in you. It doesn't matter. If you believe enough in yourself, and this sounds cliche, but it's true. You believe enough in yourself and you could do it. You just keep going. And there's going to be times where we're like, I got to stop. I got to quit. I got to quit. I need to go.
What is your IQ level? Your I quit level? Have you ever kind of like
not that
this
high.
close?
Probably not that high.
And you've never had a moment where you're like considered or had a slight like demon that's like, let's do something with graphic design.
To where I would like veer off.
Yeah.
No, not once. I put it this way. There is no plan B. Yeah. There is no parachute. Because if you do have that, then you have that. It's there. You're like, oh, you know what? Let me just go back. And I could, even though nowadays you just type in, I want this and this,
AI.
and AI just builds it in 2 seconds. So the graphic design job is just going to be gone. Yeah. But I still think the human level adds tremendous amount of anything, whether it's graphic design, whether it's voice, whatever it is. Production. But no, I just said to myself, I'm like, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. And obviously there's different facets of it. So a lot of times I'm like, what do you need me to do? I can do it. I'm a song and dance man. I'm an actor. I always say I'm an actor who could sing. I don't say I'm a singer because I know how much work singers put in.
Right.
I'm an actor who could dance. I wouldn't say I'm a dancer. I know a lot of dancers. I know the work they put in. So I wouldn't want to take that away from them. But yeah, you need me to learn choreography? I could do it. You need me to sing? I could do it. Acting, hosting and comedy, those are my strong suits. And, but you got to, branch out, wrote a sitcom with AK, we're still pitching that. He just wrote a screenplay with me in mind. So now there's that. I'm doing the Asbury Park Monologues. I came up with the idea for the Dear Entertainment industry video because of my experience in this industry. And I think it was the kind of thing where it's like, you know what? People might watch this and be like, fuck you, Derek. Or people might watch this and get motivated. And I think anyone could watch it and be motivated. And the feedback I've gotten from that video has all been good, even though a couple of times I'm saying the quiet part out loud, but I'm just being true to myself.
Well, we're going to play a little snippet of that Dear Entertainment industry, just 30 seconds to 45 seconds. And I want to hop right back into it.
Hell no. But failure, disappointment, letdowns, and all those no's galvanize my pursuit of what I love even more. It's like fuel. Those things are the best teachers you could have. I get knocked down constantly, but I get up with a bloody nose every single time, even bigger with a gargantuan middle finger in the air with the words, okay, I'll show you. Right behind me. Motivated as fuck. So many people in the entertainment industry think they know better than everyone else, especially the executives. But here's something I've learned over the years. They don't. No one knows anything, right? All just people with opinions. How many times have you heard the old, you'll never make it story? Or someone or some project keeps getting denied by countless executives, production companies, and networks because they think it's no good. Then someone, somewhere sees something, someone takes a chance on them, and boom, they get that big part. Their show is picked up. Their song is charting. They're dancing on Broadway. They're giving an acceptance speech while holding an award in their hand saying, never give up, because I was told you'll never make it. Hell, they didn't change what they were doing. They just kept doing what they were doing. I just keep doing what I'm doing. And all those people before just failed to see it or judged it so completely wrong. And you know what? Again, that's okay. All I ask of you, entertainment industry, is you see the talent, real talent, and you pay the talent accordingly. I mean, that's what the strike was about, right? And hey, you want to use social media influencers? Fine. No knock on their hustle. But be straight up and don't sit there auditioning us knowing full well you're just going to go with some no-talent ass clown with 1 million followers on Instagram or TikTok so you can, get eyeballs on your product or whatever the hell it is you're trying to sell.
So that was a little snippet.
Yeah, just a snippet.
If anybody watches that, depending on their mindset, either it's like, bruh, you're a fucking sellout. You just sold everybody out and said F you industry. And others will be like, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not in the entertainment industry. And I watched that and I was fired up, dude.
See, that's what I wanted.
I was like, hell yeah, let's go.
Yes, I wanted people to feel like they want to run through a brick wall afterwards. And my main point of doing that video, and I started writing that video over a year ago, and I started writing it. I had this idea. I'd write, walk away from it, come back, take out a whole paragraph. I had AK, he was helping me kind of script supervise, like, oh, take this book. Cause I went way longer into the union than I should have. Cut that out. But I was like, I just want to be dead down the barrel honest. And I don't want to sugarcoat anything. But I didn't want it to come across as complaining. Yeah. I'm not complaining. I was just saying, do better. I've been working for you. And I listen. And a bunch of times in the video, I go, and you know what? I get it. That's the way it is. It's fine. But, just being in the industry for so long, and it's like, I've seen all these things, and it's like, oh, you claim to be the most inclusive. Let me check you on that, but I do love this about you and that about you. But, and what we sacrifice, a lot of people don't realize what people sacrifice to be in this industry. Like, relationship, like I talk about in the video, relationships get strained, money, kids put on hold, getting married, all this stuff. And you don't realize that's what's going into it. And I've been working strictly as an entertainer since 2009. And it's still a struggle every single day. We're still working to just, keep it up. Yeah. People would be like, I even say this in the video too, like, oh, Derek, you already made it. You do what you love. Yes. But what I love also comes with a lot of tough times and consequences and,
mental fortitude.
It's a very squiggly line life. One time you're fat, you're up here, and then boom, you're down here, and you're here. It's never like, just a straight line life where, like, no offense to anyone who works in a bank, where it's like, oh, there's donuts in the break room, and oh, it's Janice's birthday. It's like all over the place. But I wanted, with that video, which is basically a long monologue, if you go watch it, but I stayed true to myself, and I wanted to make sure it came across as professional. Like, I wore the suit. I wanted to make sure I looked good, shot it in a way where keep people engaged. Oh, you could see the environment I'm in. Like, granted, it's got the white background with the words popping up, like typing. So that kind of keeps you involved, because it's a fact that if you see and hear, if you see the words and you hear them said, you retain it better. And I didn't do that throughout the whole video, but I did it at certain parts I thought were important. But then it cuts to the other two angles where you see the green screen, you see the guys behind the camera. So you see my environment, and you're like, okay, you were actually
showing here's what it really looks like.
Right. Showing the behind the scenes, and this is what it took to shoot this video. And then after, I was in the edit with that for over a month before it came out. Yeah. And made sure every little thing was perfect on it. So, but yeah, and so I'm very proud of that video. And a lot of people in the industry, whether they were dancers or musicians or singers, all would say to me when it first came out, I'd get sidebar texts like, yo, that was fire. Like, I appreciate
many of us who are not in the industry were like, that was fire.
I'm so extremely humbled about it. I wasn't looking, I was just looking to put something out that was rawly real and me. And let me tell you about this industry. I mean, I get emotional in it. It's just real. I'm not acting. I'm just talking straight from here.
What was there bullet points or scripts, or was that memorization of what you wanted to talk about?
So I
Talk
don't
to
need
me
to,
about the creative process.
Yeah. So if you, I didn't want to have to. I knew what I wrote. And I knew.
Mhm.
So we had a teleprompter, but it's what I wrote. And it wasn't, and a lot of times I didn't even need to look at it. It was just
It's
there.
like you're reading a letter to that wife, and you just like, look, I wrote this so I don't get out of line, but this is my heart on a piece of paper that I'm gonna read for.
Right. So I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure exactly what I wrote
Yeah.
came out, and there was a couple little ad libs here and there, which is fine. But yeah, it doesn't diminish at all the quality of it or what I was saying.
Yeah.
But it just had to come directly from the heart and be raw, and I'm very proud of that because, like I said, I get, you know, the response has been great. A couple
Yeah.
people were like, yeah, I don't know about this. I'm like, that's fine. I put it out there. I put myself out there. That's what we do. You're out there for
Yeah.
criticism. People are going to like it, not going to like. You can't please everybody.
How do you deal with criticism? Or do you deal with criticism?
Well, I dealt with criticism a lot on Fastlane Daily. I mean, I hosted a show for almost a decade, a very popular show that got a ton of views. So there'd always be people. So granted, 90% were positive, right? But unfortunately in our industry, a lot of people focus on the negative. So what I would do sometimes, like, it didn't really affect me too much. I mean, people would go out of their way sometimes. I once got an email from a guy, like, obviously he had to, you know, send me an
how
email.
much energy it takes to write an email.
Like, well, like literally, like you felt so compelled. You had to go out separately from FLD and YouTube or whatever platform you're watching us on, and send me an email saying, "You fucking suck. I hope you die of cancer. You know nothing about cars, all this stuff." And I'm just like, what in the world? Like, who would wish that upon somebody? Like, obviously you have something to deal with.
Yeah.
So I just delete and go,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I try not to take it too personally. Sometimes people would say some things I'd be like in the comments, but that's just us being humans. That's human nature. But a lot of times if someone would write something real messed up, I'd hit them. I'd just kill them with kindness. I'd be like, hey man, you know what? You're entitled to your opinion, and that's fine. I just still appreciate you watching. I hope that's okay. I hope you have a great day, because your view still counted. Your comments still counted.
Dude, I love it. It
And
pisses
then-
them off sometimes.
Well, and then most of the time, probably 99.9% of the time, you get a comment back. Oh, hey man, I was having a bad day. I didn't realize you'd actually respond or even see this, but no, you're cool. You're all right. You know,
Yeah.
like, and then I don't respond to that. Just leave it at that, because, you know, listen, you're not going to, period, point blank, you're not going to please everybody.
Nope.
Ever in anything. And especially if you're someone in the public eye.
I was going to say, you
and I'm not
up
even,
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not even anyone that's huge or anything. And geez,
Yet.
I mean, I was in an article in a Variety online, and it was when the whole thing with FLD happened with one of our founders, and he got caught. He basically stole $8 million from Epics and all this. And he was one of the owners of FLDs. FBI interviewed us and everything. And my good buddy, I'll say his name, Matt Farah, Smoking Tire, good guy. I've always liked Matt. For some reason in the beginning, he thought I was like part of that. And like, he was like bashing me on Twitter and online and everything. And then Variety did like this whole article, and apparently they got a hold. So my former boss for FLD, for Fastlane Daily, he actually helped me a lot in my career. If you're just talking what he did for me, he helped me out a lot. And I spoke to that because he asked if I would write a letter of character to the judge. And I did. I said, I'm not saying if he's guilty or innocent. Here's what this dude has done for me.
Yeah.
That's what I kept. Somehow Variety online got a hold of it and posted some, you know, lines of what I said or whatever, some quotes. And it's crazy. They were like, you should go to jail with him. And it's like, here am I, like, wow, you're going to this extent to bash me. And like, so imagine what, you know, Tom Brady takes, or, you know, Jennifer Aniston, or all these people. Like, that's why I have such compassion for celebrities and stuff when they could take the higher road, and because, you know, I've had tastes of it, and holy shit, could you imagine?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll come back to that in a second. Let's talk about Fastlane Daily, show that was on for a decade. Was this circumstance that led for it?
Award-winning show
about an ad. Yeah. What was the circumstance that you just shared with us led to the ending of the show, or
not necessarily? No, we were bought out. Amel sold it to Time Inc. a huge corporation that bought us in the drive. And and by the way, let me just say, me and Matt are totally cool now.
Yes.
On his podcast. Matt's a great dude. He's killing it out in LA. Love Matt. There's no hard feelings there. Yeah. So Fastlane Daily was bought out by Time Inc. Moved us to Brooklyn, a studio in Brooklyn, and 7 months later canceled us, even though we were like the only organic views they were getting.
How and why would that? Like, I mean, help me understand the logic behind it. You
know.
have a very successful show.
That
I'm gonna buy a very successful show, and then I'm gonna cancel it.
That I don't know.
That's crazy.
That I do not know.
And is that like the mystery of the industry?
It is. And people have tried to mimc Fastlane Daily. There's been many shows that have tried to be like Fastlane.
Yeah.
One of my producers, who I love, JF, he was Haggerty tasked him to do a daily news show, and I was in the talks for it, but they wanted me to move to Detroit for it, and the money wasn't right for me to move to Detroit. But they did ask me, and I appreciate that. But this woman was the host, and she was a good host. But this is just one of the shows. There's been others. There's a lot of car stuff out there that if they try to do daily news, like immediately comments, oh, you're just trying to be like Derek from Fastlane Daily. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is trying to be like, stop trying to be like Fastlane Daily. Because we cornered the market. We started it. We did something that was never done. At a time, we were on multiple platforms, but YouTube was a big one, of course. And we were the longest running daily show in YouTube history. I don't know if we still are. Maybe still are because we lasted so long. But it's so cool how I started with Fastlane Daily as just like a host, just talking. I loved cars, and obviously I got pounded in the beginning, like you don't know shit, all this stuff. We're building and building. Fast forward to the end of Fastlane Daily. By the end, I was the head comedy writer. I was one of the producers, and it was very collaborative. And
that's why you're referring back to how much the show and the gentleman has done for you in your career. When you were talking about the card to the judge,
right. What he did for me throughout all of it. We had multiple different studios in Manhattan, and then, like I said, at the end, Time Inc. bought us out, moved us to Brooklyn. But I mean, what we did with the show, we turned it into something different. We were a daily car news show that was funny, so people could watch a show whether you liked cars or not, and they'd be like, "It's just funny," because we did bits and segments, and I did characters, and and AK is always like, Derek D, you brought that to the show. It wouldn't have went that way. Yeah. Because I would talk about pop culture and relate pop culture to car news, whatever it was. So you could be a gearhead and you want to hear about the newest, Mustang out there and the shitty EcoBoost engine in it and all that technical stuff. And then we talk about, I don't know, Lindsay Lohan crashed her Porsche Panamera. If a car was involved, we were talking about it. And the greatest compliment I've got from a lot of Fastlane Daily fans, they'd be like, you are like the Jimmy Fallon of car news. I'm a big fan of Jimmy Fallon. So I was like, because I brought the comedy to car news. It wasn't just like, and today this came out. I was
going to say, how do you make car news funny, right?
I know how to do it. And when we would go to auto shows, like we would be so different. We'd be thinking outside the box. Like, all right, we're at an auto show and there's all these rugs. No one here is talking about the rugs. We're going to judge the rug. I'm going to lay down in the middle of all these people shooting on media days. NBC's over there with huge jibs and rigs, and they got a guy that's all rigid. And today we have the Honda Pilot. And I'm like, look at this noob. I'm over here doing, let's do rapid fire news. I'm running around the auto show, whether it's in New York or I'm dressed as a character I did named Bob Schumann Jr. in Frankfurt, Germany at the Frankfurt Auto Show, where Germans are and I'm all like
hyped up and everything.
But I'd literally lay down on the rug and do like an angel, and I'd rate the rugs. And then fans of the show would end up going to auto shows, laying on the rugs, taking pictures and filming, and be like, send it to us, and be like, oh, I give this rug. Like, I'm at the, an auto show we didn't go to Philly much. That wasn't a big one at the time. Auto shows are kind of dying down in general now, but so we had such an impact, and I'd get letters from the military, people, the Marines being like, you help us get through. I'm deployed out here and I watch your show every day and it just takes me back. I'm like, what? We do that for you? I'm like, thank you for doing what you do for us.
Yeah.
And one of the really cool things is we get emails from wives and girlfriends. Because let's be honest, it's car news, mostly dudes. But the women would be like, I don't even like cars, but my husband does. And I watch the show with him, and then I could talk to him about car stuff you're talking about. But I laugh at Derek D because you guys do funny stuff, so I stay interested.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so I get invited to weddings, all this kind of stuff, and it makes me feel so humbled and happy that for 9 years that show lasted, and people still to this day, and I kid you not, whether it's email, a DM, a message on Facebook, whatever it is, to like to hear these words. I grew up watching you. Like, so you were in elementary school and you watched me till college. That's
nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
Because 9 years.
Yeah. And you hear that about primetime shows. You don't hear that about YouTube and
there should
such.
be a documentary one day about Fastlane Daily.
I am so good at manifesting things, just so you know. If I say it, it happens. So trust me.
Hey, I hear that.
Ali called it first. Let's dive into,
which, by the way, side note, me and AK, one of the producers of Fastlane Daily, wrote a sitcom based on Fastlane Daily, and that's what we're currently pitching. So.
Is the Ben Stiller director our sitcom.com still live?
Yeah.
Okay, so talk to me about the idea of creating a whole, first of all, monologue type ad and targeting it to Ben Stiller. Talk to me about that.
So I was a huge fan of Ben Stiller, always have been since Heavyweights, and he's doing a lot more directing now, and look, that show Severance and things like that. And so my idea, me and AK, Alan Kaufman, my writing partner and one of the producers of Fastlane Daily, what we talk about a lot is just keeping the ball in the air, keep it rolling. So we wrote this sitcom. Anytime you're pitching a sitcom or movie, it is a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of nibbles and bites and people interested and something's going to happen, and then falls flat on its face. It's just the way it is. You get it. You take the punches, you keep on rolling. And so we were always like, okay, what's the next thing we should do? I said, I got an idea. What if I do like a video, just literally asking Ben Stiller to direct our sitcom? Like, why not? He'd be great. He'd be great playing this certain role we also have in the show. Gunther Heimlich was one of the characters. He'd be great playing that, or any of the characters besides mine. So I was like, let me just do this video, doing a call out to Ben Stiller and see what happens. Likely nothing will happen, but you were just throwing shit against the wall. You got to think outside the box. Like right now for our sitcom, and it's called copandstyles.com, which is a whole other thing. It's like a phrase me and my cousin invented. It made its way into Fastlane Daily, so that's kind of like the placeholder.
Yeah.
If it gets picked up, and they're like, let's just call it Fastlane Daily, whatever they want. But anyway, copandstyles.com, STAYLES. You can go there, and there's a video of AK and I in a Ferrari 488 Spider, and it's kind of like comedians in cars getting coffee, and him and I are in a warehouse of exotic cars talking about the show and what it's about, and then it cuts to me and him in the Ferrari. So you can go watch that and learn. It's kind of like a pitch video about the show, where you can learn about the show. Oh, and these are the two creators. Sweet, we have that. We also have the full show Bible. You want to read the whole pilot and every synopsis for every other episode of the season and all the characters. We got that too. We could send that to you. So we have that. We have this. And I was like, let's do something else. So I did the Ben Stiller direct our sitcom. Ben Stiller direct our sitcom.com. You could go to it. You could watch that video. And we had some people reach out that were like, oh, we are affiliated with Ben. We could send it to his people. Whether it got to him or not, I don't know. It still might. You never know. But you throw it against the wall. And I used clips from Heavyweights in the video to make it comedic.
Out of here.
Yeah, out of here, mister. And it's like one of his lines, I eat success for breakfast. And I was like, and then it cuts. I'm like, I don't want to just eat success. I want to nibble on it. I want to have it for lunch and dinner. Hell, I'll even snack on it if I can. So that's the thing. And here's a little exclusive we're doing. I'll give you right now. And AK, we still got to finalize all this. But the next project after the Asbury Park Monologues will be doing a live, and we're going to shoot it table read of the entire pilot. And we're probably going to do that. We're going to shoot that at NJF Studios.
Yeah. Shout out to NJF Studios and Ryan Leonard, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Great guy, great studio, and Neptune kid represent.
So you're actually going to shoot.
So we're going to hire actors. We're going to have actors, and myself and AK, and we are going to do just like you'll see it on TV, or you see when they do a live table read.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, so a live table read of the whole pilot, and we're going to shoot that. So instead of actually, we're kind of, because the way AK, my writing partner, the way we look at it, if we're going to shoot a pilot, we're going to do it right, like full on budget. Even if we just shoot a scene, even just a scene from our pilot, to do it right on the low end, 20 G's, to do it right. I'm not trying to sit. It's great. Oh, you can shoot with the iPhone. You can do that. No. Right. We're talking about like a 4 or 5 minute scene. you're talking about 20K on the low end, right? So we're like, so to avoid, having to, because we don't want to do the crowdfunding thing and all that. We just want to like someone read this, see it, like, whether it's a production company, whether it's a Ben Stiller, a Seth Rogen, whoever it is, be like, yo, let's put this in motion. Let's try to do this. And like I said, we've had bites. We've had, don't have to go into all that, but it hasn't been picked up yet. That's the bottom line. So we want to do this. And it's like, we're basically shooting the pilot. So you're going to see actors, you're going to see them emoting, see what the scene is, hear it. Like if you close your eyes, I'm listening to a podcast with actors. Yeah. Like not a true crime.
I remember I used to watch the table read of what's the lawyer show? Suits. Yeah. They would do it every now and then. They would show all of them sit on the table.
And it's a pool behind it. And we're going to shoot it, obviously, professionally. It's going to look great. And so we'll have that as well. So that's another thing. Like, oh, you want to see that? Here's this. Here's the show Bible. Yeah. Here's me and AK, the creators and writers of this, talking about it in a fun way in a Ferrari. And so you just keep swinging. You just keep swinging. You're going to strike out a bunch of times, a lot of times, most of the time, almost all the time. But
that's how success in anything is. I mean, even the professional athletes. I mean, oh, you can't. There's only one Jordan. Well, Jordan won 6 times, but he lost 17.
You look at it like that. And he's the first guy at practice probably shooting to get better. And he's Michael Jordan. And just like I said in the Dear Entertainment Industry video, what you showed a clip of, there's a part in there where I say, just fail forward. Yep. Just got to fail forward. And then you could have a quick woe is me moment. Get that shit out of here. Yeah. The woe is me people, the entitled people, and the people. One of the big things I want to say about people in the entertainment industry, if they see you doing something you love or working at it, there's people out there, and some of them are your friends, and they actually hope you fail. Because it's really their problem, not yours. Because the way they look at it is, why do you get to do what you want? I'm over here doing a job that I hate. It's like, what do you?
Misery loves friendship.
Yeah. You decided to do that. Yeah. And you don't know how hard this is? Do you know how hard this is? Yeah, you might see the posts and all this, just like social media in general. You don't know how hard this is brutal. Yeah. You're brutal. You were getting punched in the fucking dick in the face constantly. You were just getting rocked. Your snot box gets rocked all the time in this industry, man. And if you can deal with that, you just keep doing it.
Which part out of the many that you talked about, getting punched in the dick? Or
you just get punched. It's like punched right in the dick, right in the face, constantly. But you got to keep going. And those naysayers and those people that tear you down, or they just want you to fail. It's not that they want to do what you're doing. It's not that they just don't want to see you successful at it. And it's like, you know what? You're not worth to have in my life. Bye. People that got your back, those are the ones, the real ones, like I said in the video.
Word is bond, homie. We're going to take a quick 30 seconds, and we're going to come back and dive completely deep into the Asbury Park Monologues. Yes. We'll be right back.
Derek D here, the founder and producer of the Asbury Park Monologues, happening right here at the House of Independence on Saturday, November 23rd in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Now, not only is it a very fun and different kind of show, but you could also win raffle prizes like a trip giveaway, tickets to shows, a month gym membership, the list goes on. And that's all from our great sponsors right here. Yeah, take a good look. We got some good ones. Especially our 2 official sponsors, who are Mogo, Korean Fusion Tacos. And they're kind enough to give everyone who comes to the show a voucher for 1 free taco. No, I don't want that free taco, said no one ever. Yeah, you walk in with your ticket, we'll be like, you get a taco, you get a taco, you folks over there, you're gonna get a taco. Yeah! If they come to the show. So. Right. And our other official sponsor is NJF Worldwide. They donated 1 free 3-hour studio space session right here at NJF Studios in Freehold, New Jersey. Yeah, get a load of this place. You got the white cyc wall, the green screen, all the props you could need, tons of equipment. And that's just one of our awesome raffles that you could win at the show. All right. Oh, that sun feels good. So head over to AsburyParkMonologues.com for tickets and more info. But If you want to avoid those pesky online fees, just come here to the House of Independence box office at Rebel Supply Company. It's like 55 feet from the front door. Super easy. So hope to see you right here on November 23rd for the 3rd Asbury Park Monologues. I'll meet you right here. Well, in there, not here on the sidewalk. That'd be weird. Okay, cool. All right, see you there.
On that note, I just practiced with Derek D how to get punched in the dick a couple of times, just so I know what it feels like. It's not bad. I'm ready. I'm ready.
A hypothetical punch in the dick.
Yeah.
In the face.
So let's talk about the Asbury Park Monologues.
Yes.
First and foremost, what inspired it? I know it's the biggest project that you have right now, and
currently
you're focused on. So give us a little bit of why you decided to do so. Especially, you are busy, my guy. You are shooting, you are auditioning, you are creating.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the Asbury Park Monologues, and let's dive into that.
So how it started basically was there's always monologue competition shows in the city, and a lot of them they cost like probably $100 to enter, and that's all you get. You're in it, you win. Cool. You get the notoriety of winning.
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, a monologue is a whether it's comedic or dramatic, it's basically a one-act, one-person play. But it could be, there's people that have killer 1-minute monologues. So you could do, so I was like, there is no show like that around here. We have no show. In Asbury Park, such a town full of, artistry and artists and music and all this stuff. I was like, there is no show like this around here. You're going to do it? You're not going to do it. You're not. Okay, I got to do it. Okay, let me just have a bunch of work for myself. And so they were born. And the first one was in 2019. It was at the Asbury Hotel, and it was a success. And I just built on that for the second one, which was in 2021, which was an even bigger success. And that was at the Asbury Lanes. And we had a great crowd for that. And then I incorporated so the audience can win raffles that are donated by the sponsors and things like that. But the main thing was to focus on this different type of show. The different type of show. It's actors. You're watching actors by themselves do a mini play. And some are comedic, some are dramatic, or they could sing a musical theater song. So there's 3 categories and there's 3 awards: comedic, dramatic, musical theater song. And I was like, we need to bring this here, but let's do it different. So the entry fee is only $40 for performers, which is nothing. But what we give you, and there's you're getting an HD copy of your performance. The audio is going to sound great, the video is going to be great. We feed you. You get gift certificates. You get everyone coming to the show, just even audience members. The minute you walk in, here's a free taco from Mogo. Like everyone that comes in gets that.
We're giving away a vacation too.
We'll talk about that in a second. That's right. Thanks to you, which I appreciate so much.
Much love.
But it was we just need to do this. And I was like, ooh, I'll perform in the beginning and do like a cold open. So the first year I did a dramatic monologue, and I was like, I'm putting too much on my plate, especially a dramatic monologue when I need to get in, because it was heavy. And I'm literally 2 seconds before, like backstage being like, you don't want to go third, you want to go fourth. Okay, let me say, you over here, we got to do it, like putting out fires. You know what I mean? It's a day of production. That's the way it is. And then I got to go perform. And I was like, oh shit. So the second year I was like, I'll do a comedy monologue, cold open. And even though it was comedy and I knew exactly what I needed to do and the monologue by heart and everything, still I'm putting too much on my plate. Like I got to perform, but I just was talking about, is the audio settings correct for the mics? Literally right before I go.
Brain is functioning somewhere else while you're here.
I'm like, I can't perform as well. So I'm not. So this year, the 3rd Asbury Park Monologues, the 3rd one, it's at the House of Independence on November 23rd. And I'm not going to perform at this one. I think I'm going to cold open it with a video, possibly a musical theater song that I sang, that I shot a video of, called 3090. Did that like a year or 2 ago. So I might just show that, or I might even shoot myself doing a monologue and just show that. But I got to take me performing at the show out of it, because I am on the mic hosting, introducing all the performers, things like that, making sure that they got the lav mic on for the performer that's on the stage. The next one has to put the next one on, so everything moves smoothly, because you got the performers have 3 minutes. So there's judges. We have industry judges. This year we have Casey Webb from Man vs. Food.
No pressure.
He's a friend of mine. He's also a actor. He's been in a lot of big things. He hosts Man vs. Food. We have the head of the Garden State Film Festival, Lauren Conquer. I always say her last name right, but she's great. She's going to be one of the judges, and I'm still waiting to hear about the third judge. It's either going to be one of my agents or this actor's friend of mine. But yeah, that's how it started. Basically, just started from an idea being like, there's no show like this around here.
Let's create
let me
it.
be the one.
So
I'm just going to do it and put you on the spot. He came to me and was like, I think I want to perform at it. He's like, totally out of my comfort zone. I'm like,
Yep.
Perfect. That's what we want. Yeah, we want seasoned people, but we want people that are like, I'm just going to get up here and do this.
and just have a good time with it too. I'm
Yeah.
not even coming in with any expectations. So for those who are wondering, definitely not me. What is the difference between a monologue and a stand-up? Meaning,
Okay.
like, help me understand, because I remember when I talked to you, and I was like, yeah, I'm thinking about like, trying out for like a
Mhm.
stand-up, and you were like, hey, it's a monologue, not a stand-up.
Right.
So help me understand the difference.
Okay, so stand-up comedy, you're up there, you got a mic in your
Mhm,
hand,
mhm.
and I mean, some comedians, I think, like Lewis Black, I even think more recently, Matt Rife, I think he does a lot. But let's be honest, you're holding the mic in
Yeah,
your hand,
yeah.
and you're talking directly to the audience.
Right.
You could be doing crowd work, you could just be doing your
Yeah.
material, and that's fine. A monologue, like I said, is a play.
So
It is
you're
a
actually acting
you're
a scene.
acting. Yeah, the
Okay.
audience is not unless your monologue somehow incorporates the audience, they're not there. So we make sure we have lavs for the
Yeah.
actors, because it would be very
Yeah.
inauthentic if you're acting and you're holding
No,
the
I
mic
get it. Yeah.
like this.
Yeah.
So it's basically a one act, one person play. Now, if you're doing a monologue where you're playing multiple characters, sure, that's fine. But that's the difference. Stand up is stand up comedy, and a comedic monologue is a funny one act play that you're watching this person do. A monologue could be it could be something along the lines of like, so someone walks on stage and they're just like, man, so I'm in the store and I'm looking at this girl, and I was supposed to get some sneakers, but then I see her and she catches my eye, and I'm just like, hey, how are you? And then she's not even talking to me. I don't even know what's going on. So you're just doing your own thing, and the audience is watching and hearing your story. You're telling them a story.
Or telling my thoughts.
Yeah. And but right. Yeah. But also you could take comedians, you could take a lot of a comedian's material, turn it into a monologue very simply.
Yeah.
You can. Like you could.
I feel like it's an easy starting point. Like I tried, because I remember you were like, hey, just give it a try, practice.
And like I said, it could be 1 minute.
No, I
There's
get it.
Killer 1 minute monologues.
I get it. I don't look. I'll tell you. I told you every year I try to do something that scares me. Last year I did
which is
MMA.
Right.
And I had my knee blown up for 6 weeks.
Jesus.
But I came in second out of 8 guys that like were pros
Good
for
for
like
you.
5 years.
Hell yeah. Good
So
for
I
you.
was like, I can't walk, but I am tall as hell, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm feeling it.
Right.
But I did it because I wanted to do it for me.
And you learned from it.
Yeah,
and
oh
you
yeah,
took something.
100%,
I'm
dude.
sure you took a lot of things from it.
If mentally it was exhilarating, and it was like I overcame that thing that scared me. Like I'm not submitting to that fear, right?
Right.
And it's the same exact thing in here.
Takes
So I'm not
a lot of blood balls.
Yeah, I'm comfortable with being
in front of people.
in front of people.
So you have that.
I just don't and I'll tell you probably the best way that I can describe that fear that I have. I don't like to disappoint.
The only person you'd be disappointing is yourself.
And that's why I'm getting on that freaking stage, because I know if I'm just watching, guess what's going on in my head? I wish I was there.
Yeah.
I wish I was there.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'd rather be like, well, that sucked, but I had a freaking blast, you know?
I had this one kid. It was I think the first year we did it, and he came in. He's like, "What? This is like a whole production. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stage with the logo on the screen, and there's the sponsors popping up." He was like white as a ghost.
He thought it was going to be a multi-cultural show.
No, he just thought it was like he thought it was like an open mic.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And I said, "What'd you think about all the emails and everything I sent you?" He's, I don't know. He was a young kid. He was like 19 or something. Took him aside. I go, "Look, it's your choice. You don't have to do it. I go, but I'm pretty sure if you don't, you're going to regret it. But no matter what happens on that stage, whether you bomb, whether you do great, whether you're funny, whether you're not, whatever your monologue is, I go, you'll be better off for doing it. I go, but it's your choice. I'm not going to look down on you or think anything about you otherwise, you know. I go, but I really, really hope you do it. And he did it. And he was not bad. He was not bad.
Yeah.
Because he knew what a monologue was, and he knew, I guess he's done like, you know, theater here and there. And I was like, and after I was so proud of him, and his mom was too, and everything. And I said, he's like, oh, I feel so I was so nervous, but felt so good afterwards. Cause like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah. And that's exactly
those are the 3 words
yeah.
for anything, for anyone, and anything you're scared of. If you do it, you take the risk, even if you fail. Hey, I did it.
Yeah.
Instead of people who talk. I'm going to do. Oh, you're going to do it? Yeah, I'm going to start a show called the Asbury Park Monologues and create all this other work for me. And if I told nobody, and if I told everyone that and nothing happened, here I am on the 3rd one, creating a ton of work for myself. I don't know if people are going to come. I hope people are going to come. I'm promoting it. I'm doing the best I can. And whatever happens, happens. And that's it. But I'm doing it. I did it.
Yeah. And I love that even when you were coming up the elevator, I was like, yeah, how's the show sales come in? Like I sell you. You're like, yeah, I don't look at that, bro.
I don't want to worry about that.
Yeah.
When I had I did a few one-man shows at House of Independence. And it's funny that at the time, this woman, Morgan, she ran it. She doesn't anymore. And I was doing a one-man comedy show, Derek D. Multimedia Comedy Show. I took 10 months of work for an hour and 20 minutes. 10 months of work. Shot in LA, shot in New York, shot in New Orleans for it. It was videos, multimedia. So it was video. I was dancing. I was singing a parody. I was doing stand-up, all of it. And what'd she say to me? She said something along lines of, she was like, oh, and we'll have to, you know, kind of like fill in down here a little bit. And I forget the exact words she used, but she threw me off because I was like, it was like, what did she say? It was something along lines of like, oh, but we're not going to be able to fill down here. So I put extra chairs. I didn't ask anything. And I'm thinking to myself, oh shit. So it didn't sell out. And then I said to her something like, well, you were saying about the chairs down here. She was like, no, that was just, she was like, that something along the lines of there was 2 different ways people were buying tickets. She's like, oh no, it's sold out. Like so nonchalantly. And I was like, oh shit. And then you go, sweet. Oh shit.
Sold out.
Sold out. I was hoping 10 people were here so I could just be like, oh, see that, like there's like everyone. So I filled
now
the
expectations
stands, the floor,
yeah.
and people were standing up top.
It
was one of my greatest accomplishments. I just got chills thinking.
I was gonna say, do you still get the little fear when you get on that? You know, because I know myself.
Yeah. It's more like
first 10, 15 seconds that I get on the stage after, ladies and gentlemen, Ali Madawi, and I get on the stage and I'm like, and then it's like,
yeah, it's more like a nervous thing. It's not
your audience, I guess.
Anxiousness.
Yeah.
It's not like a really, if I know I'm prepared, then I'm confident. But it's like, shit, people are going to laugh still. Are people going to do this? You know, and especially when it comes to comedy, like if you're in a dramatic play, you know, and it sucks.
Yeah.
There's the audience, whether it sucks or is great, doesn't make any noise until the end when they clap. They're going to clap either way.
Yeah.
Comedy and even a comedic monologue, if no one,
it's the laughter that's the judge. Yeah.
Then you did it wrong or it wasn't funny, but it doesn't mean you lost.
Yeah.
It means
you're learning from it right now and moving forward. In terms of the show itself, is it family, kids?
No kids.
What kind of audience?
I say like 17 and older.
Okay,
17
great.
And older. Just I don't curtail anyone. You want to do a monologue through politics? You want to curse? You want to talk about sexual? I don't curtail the artistic.
I was planning on doing a live OnlyFans show. You know,
yeah, try it. No.
$67 million after a couple of videos, you know, it makes you wonder.
Yeah,
let me dive some more about the show. So 17 and over, but parents can do, you know, whatever they want with
because I say 17 and older because not that we have any 17-year-olds performing, but I think that's the age. You should be at least a senior in high school
in order to
perform. You got to be 17 or older.
And as far as the audience.
Anyone, but I don't. But
come with a parent. You're not coming by yourself if you're 13.
Right. You could come if your parent wants you to come.
Yeah, there you
sure,
go.
but you're going to hear curse words. You're going to hear, and obviously you can't drink at the bar,
Yeah.
clearly. But yeah, I mean, it's technically an all ages show, but it is mature audience
Yeah.
stuff. I'm
Mature
assuming,
advice.
because I don't hear everyone's monologue. I background check them in the sense of, are you a performer? Have you done this before? Have you been in front of people before? Have you done this? Have you done? And they send clips and videos and links, and then I give them the official, all right, you're in, and I've had some people be like, I think you just need a little more of this or that, and that's fine. And we go from there.
And the website for people to buy tickets?
Asbury Park Monologues.com.
And it's right in your screen as you're seeing it right now. And just check it out. Your boy Ali always hooks you up. So make sure that you actually go and buy these tickets right now.
Yeah. And if you see the image that I'm using for this year's promotional materials, so like you look at that, it's 2 pictures of me. It's one where it's comedic, where I'm like, my hands up and I'm like, and then the other side is like serious. So comedy, drama. That's what that is.
Do you find yourself more inclined to do drama or comedy? Like
more comedy, but I'll tell you my wheelhouse. So like Ben Stiller type movies, Jason Bateman type movies, Paul Rudd, huge Paul Rudd. That's my wheelhouse. I was gonna
say, you do have a little bit of that look of
people. Yeah, people say that, and they're all
sexiest man alive. It ain't a bad thing to be compared to.
They also do say like, and you don't age. Like how old are you? Say, don't worry about it.
Is Pharrell your cousin? Because you definitely have that blood style.
I appreciate it. I get it from my mom. I got a great head of hair. Yeah. But yeah, I lean towards that. Like, so do you ever see the movie like Vince Vaughn? Another example. You ever see the movie The Breakup?
Yeah.
Him and Jennifer Aniston. Yeah. Funny movie. Yeah. But there are heated moments in there and arguments they have that are serious.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of actor I am. That's the kind of actor I am. I'm more, my resume is full of comedy, but I am trained dramatically, and I love being able to go there as well.
Gotcha.
But a good like a Paul Rudd type.
So rom-coms, family drama with a slight comedy, like family movies.
Yeah, sure. Rom-coms. Yeah. I mean, I love doing the dramatic thing, but you look at my resume, it's mostly comedy.
Let me go back to Derek D for a second. What wouldn't you do?
What wouldn't I do?
Here's Hollywood coming knocking on your door. I got a $2 million starting contract, residuals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there is this list of things that you must do that you're saying, no.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be something that completely compromises my morals, I think, or values. But like if I read a script and it's like you have to be naked
sex scenes
for this or whatever, sex, that's okay as long as it's done right.
Men on men.
That's a tough one because it's like, I'm not afraid at all to play a gay character. I would do that in a second if the script is right. But it's like, does the script need the gratuitous
touch, body on body?
Does it need that? And I would analyze that and be like, actually, yeah, it really does. And okay, let me really think about if I can go there, like literally get there. And I might be like, I just don't think I'd be able to, and be true to myself. But I wouldn't have a problem playing a gay character or anything like that. There were a few like commercials that I was up for that I said no to. Not that I said no, like you got it if you want it, but my agents were like, it could be a little like HIV or AIDS commercial, like portraying, and they wouldn't say like, sometimes they say like actors, they would just be, I said, no, I don't feel comfortable with that, putting that out there and that, so certain things. But it just would have to just align with my morals and values. And if it does, then I'm in. If not, I'm out.
How hard is it to maintain personal relationships, intimate relationships while you are doing what you're doing?
I mean, it could be tough. And one of the weird things is, and this has happened in multiple relationships, and I was in a relationship for a while that, I thought I was going to marry this woman. And she, I'd be lying if I said I didn't still have love for her or love her but
we all did, by the way, you were talking about her all the time on Instagram.
Yeah,
I'm not a stalker, Rich. I just like him a lot.
It wasn't, and I'm not saying this is necessarily her, but I've had relationship. This has come up, with her as well, but also past relationships where it was just as simple as like, well, you have to make out with that girl in that scene. Like, yeah. They're like, oh, I don't like that. I go, okay, I understand that, but that's what I do. That's what I have to do. And sometimes I'd get well, how do I know you're not just acting and lying to me when you're talking to me? And I'm like, I go, here, let me explain something to you.
You are that good of an actor if you're getting those kind of questions.
But here's the thing. I am a terrible, terrible liar.
Yeah.
I'm not a good liar. Acting isn't lying. Acting it's a job that you're doing, yes, but you're getting into this mental space,
multiple variables of elements that you have
and
to
especially
get right.
if you're like, there's cameras all around, there's people there. It's not like that. And not that I've had a ton of intimate scenes or sex scenes or things like that, but what goes through women's minds sometimes, and I'm sure men as well, vice versa, is like, oh, you're making out with them, you must want them. Like, no, or even if it's not a makeout scene, it's like just a serious scene between me and another actress, and they take it as like, oh, well, you could just do that at home with me, and then you'd be lying. It's like, no, it's completely separate. I'm a terrible liar. I tell the truth all the time because I get anxiety about lying or getting caught in a lie. Absolutely not. So that's some of the.
Let's keep it real. How many great actors
friends
we've seen in Hollywood that ended up getting in legal trouble because they were terrible liars?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, did he do it?
Yeah,
No pun intended.
Yeah, I think he did it. I think Diddy did it. But it's like, it's like, why? And I have a lot of like friends that are actresses, and I like their posts, and girls be like, well, why are you like? I'm like, she's freaking has a boyfriend. She has a fiance. I've known her for years. She's an actress friend. Yeah, we've shot things together, this and that. And it's like so hard. So then you date, okay, let me date people in the industry. And then that's a whole other thing. It's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. It's just, I truly, and I tell this to a lot of people, I live one day at a time, really. Yeah, you got to plan as much as you can ahead, but be present. Like right now, I'm here with you doing this. This is where I'm at. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm thinking about doing a good show, talking from the heart and being here with you. And I just take one day at a time. That's it. One foot in front of the other, fail forward, and that's kind of my mantra, one day at a time.
Do you mentor people?
No, I mean, I've been asked to talk. I've talked back at like my high school a couple times and things like that. And I've been emailed like people's parents or kids are getting in the industry and want advice and this and that. And I gladly give it. So that's probably the extent of mentoring. I haven't like taken anyone under my wing. Like, hey, we're gonna go do this and this and this. But I wouldn't be opposed.
You're really good at in my lane of business, to mentor somebody, you have to genuinely care. Sure. You can't just like, okay, time's up. You pay the invoice. See you later. Like you really have to care, and you care a lot. Like you can tell. You do have a pure heart, dude. And
thank you. I appreciate that.
That comes across in everything that you do. We're gonna take one last break, and when we come back, I want to dive a little bit on a few personal sides that make you who you are, and then some final thoughts for you as well.
Sure.
Be right back.
Derek D here, the founder and producer of the Asbury Park Monologues, happening right here at the House of Independence on Saturday, November 23rd in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Now, not only is it a very fun and different kind of show, but you could also win raffle prizes like a trip giveaway, tickets to shows, a month gym membership, the list goes on. And that's all from our great sponsors right here. Yeah, take a good look. We got some good ones. Especially our two official sponsors, who are Mogo, Korean Fusion Tacos. And they're kind enough to give everyone who comes to the show a voucher for one free taco. No, I don't want that free taco, said no one ever. Yeah, you walk in with your ticket, we'll be like, you get a taco, you get a taco, you folks over there, you're gonna get a taco. Yeah! If they come to the show. So. Right. And our other official sponsor is NJF Worldwide. They donated one free 3-hour studio space session right here at NJF Studios in Freehold, New Jersey. Yeah, get a load of this place. You got the white cyc wall, the green screen, all the props you could need, tons of equipment. And that's just one of our awesome raffles that you could win at the show. All right. Oh, that sun feels good. So head over to AsburyParkMonologues.com for tickets and more info. But if you want to avoid those pesky online fees, just come here to the House of Independence box office at Rebel Supply Company. It's like 55 feet from the front door. Super easy. So hope to see you right here on November 23rd for the 3rd Asbury Park Monologues. I'll meet you right here. Well, in there, not here on the sidewalk. That'd be weird. Okay, cool. All right, see you there.
Welcome back once again. The ME Show, Ali Midad with the one and only Derek D, the GOAT of New Jersey's in the house.
I like that. The go to New Jersey.
100%, my guy.
That.
Put it
I'll
on a
take
t-shirt. So you and I have a few things in common. First things first, we both have parents who have dealt with heavy drinking. We both are in industries that have or required most of the time this like lonely road where you're by yourself and you're constantly fighting to, I'm going to make it no matter what. I'm going to make it no matter what. I'm going to make it
Sometimes
no matter
you
what.
feel like you're just on an island by yourself.
And we both strive to do something that is bigger than just money.
Yes.
Money is good.
Money's great.
Sure, give me $1 million. But I think, Steve Harvey said it best. He said, if you are a genuinely good person and you get a lot of money, you do a lot more genuinely good things.
Yeah.
But if you're an asshole and you get a lot of money, you end up doing more asshole things, right? So, and there are unfortunately a lot of people out there that are like, can we swap? Let me be an asshole for one day just to get those resources. Yeah. But talk to me about, I watched your episode when you were talking to Pops and your show, Derek D. Dozen.
Oh, yeah.
And you were talking about, how you were growing up and you had a good relationship, but there was heavy drinking. Did that impact your day-to-day life, your personality? I know for me personally, it was phases. I had it a lot worse than, from the little bit that I saw. I'm not trying to compare, but sure. I dealt with physical abuse, sexual abuse. My father was heavy with the hands, I had to drink and smoke with my dad when I was 8. Jesus. He would always say like, you never let a man drink or smoke by himself. That's why I was smoking cigarettes till I was 27 years old, since 8. So like,
Jesus.
Yeah. So I dealt with, but seeing that part, it was a sense of like, I gotta know for my selfish reasons, was that dark period or a little bit of what could be dark period, of drinking.
Yeah.
A positive on who you are today.
Crazy thing about it is that it was my dad, and he quit drinking in 2014, and the damage was done though, and by 2018 he needed a liver transplant. My amazing sister gave him her liver, 65% of it, and the liver is the only organ that grows back.
Yeah,
and she's just the best and an absolute angel for that. But growing up, my dad was what you would call functional alcoholic. It was never berating, beating, or we'd get in trouble and get yelled at for doing things. But it was never like put your hands on or yell at us or anything like that. He basically was self-medicating and basically just abusing himself, because my dad I feel like he never felt like he was just good enough, and my dad's a lot older now, and there's a lot of other issues going on, and that's a whole other thing besides the drinking part. But specifically the drinking part, he got a hold of it in 2014, and he stopped, to his credit, and he's never picked up a drink again. But people with addictive personalities, sometimes that comes back around, and it's kind of
in different ways. Sometimes
just come back around in the form of bad food and bad health and that whole thing. But without getting into all that, because that's a whole other conversation. But no, I never felt like not definitely not abused, but I never felt like I'm getting the they don't care. He doesn't, very loving parents, good parents, brought us up in a good household. My mom is an angel among humans. She's the best. But yeah, I mean, I love my dad, and he did the best he could, but I feel like he just never felt like he was good enough. So he had to self-medicate, and that's how he did it. My dad was a musician. He was in bands. He sang. He's had all these careers. And I feel like he's like never was like, oh, I finally made it doing this, because he was always jumping around because he didn't think it was good enough or whatever. So that wasn't really something that affected me negatively. I look at my family and growing up, as it was always solid and secure and good, even though he did have that issue. And later in life, it came out and bothered me more and more. And then he stopped, and Now there's other things going on, but more importantly, I don't even know if you know this, maybe you did, if you've done your research, what I think really has defined me, because I still look in the mirror and see this kid. I had a very large birthmark on the right side of my nose, went down all 7 layers of skin. And you know how, like, there's the chubby or the fat kid in class is always, he's funny, right? Or he's funny. He's either getting made fun of and it sucks, or he's funny and he's popular as hell.
Yeah.
So I wasn't that, but I had this thing on my nose, right? This and I heard it all: shit nose, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, whatever you want to, all the words. I heard it all, but I was funny, outgoing. That's just the way I was. So I became like that. They're like, oh, that's just Derek, Derek being Derek, and I kind of used it as a shield for me. Like, oh, I'm just gonna be funny. I'm gonna be, I'm in 7th grade. There's no one on the dance floor. I'm gonna be the first one on the dance floor. Like, oh, Derek's so funny, blah blah blah. But I still wasn't the one holding hands with the girl, with Amy, a couple skate at the roller rink. It wasn't me. I was like, oh, you guys go over there. I'm gonna go play skee ball or something. Meaning, like, I just wanted Tara or Leslie or Amy or Jamie to hold my hand. So that kind of molded me. And then I was summer after my freshman year of high school, I got it removed. They took skin from my waist and put it on my face. And amazing doctors. My dermatologist I was going to him since I was little, Dr. Kopp from the Empire State Building. And so finally they were like, it could develop cancer down the line, probably should get it removed. And I was like, all right. And said to my parents, cancer, like, we don't want that. But really in my head, I'm just thinking chicks, girls. I'm in high school. I'm in high school now, and if I'll show you a picture, you could have it if you want to pop it up.
Oh my God.
Like me, and you look at freshman picture of me and you'd be like, that kid's probably 10. That I was a freshman in high school and I played football. Like that kid.
What position did you play?
Oh, freshman year, I was like a wing back and a receiver, but I mean, it was ridiculous. This I don't know if you can see that there, but that's I'm a freshman in high school. That kid's a freshman. I look 12. So I had it removed the summer after my sophomore year of, and that's who I still see in the mirror every day. That kid.
Do you ever have that very same thought of, am I good enough?
Oh well, I mean, I think everyone does.
That's a human, right?
As a human, yeah. But that's really probably the thing I point to that has shaped me the most is being, because, and adults were the worst. I remember vividly, I won a coloring contest in 5th grade. It was at the American Legion. There's all people there and tons of people. And they're like, oh, this is the kid who won, Derek DeAngelis. And I go up there and there's this older guy literally about to give me my award in front of everyone. And in the mic, he's like, hey, Sonny, you forgot to wipe your nose.
Oh my God.
But me, I was so used to it, just right off that, I was like, oh, it's my birthmark. I was born with it. And my dad said he was like red and fuming. He wanted to like kill the guy. And I'm up there just like, could you just give me my award for coloring good? Like,
yeah,
whatever. So, and kids would say things and stuff like that. But all my core group of friends growing up with, they knew me forever. So they always had my back. And, I would get chirped about it as friends do, especially when I had the surgery, because a lot of times when it's a big birthmark, they take like skin from your butt. They're like, oh, Derek, you're going to fart out of your nose. It's just funny. That's funny. That's comedy. I like that. But yeah, I mean, shit stain, Rudolph. I love Rudolph.
No, listen, I get it. If you can't tell, I got vitiligo.
Vitiligo, yeah.
Yeah. And, again, high school was not, fun. And by the way, the fourth thing we have in common is I did theater when I was in Morocco, but again, that was Africa, different audience, put me back home. I have no problem turning it into a show, but here it's a new element. But I would get all the time, like, dude, what's up with your fingers? I'm like, oh, this is the African American part of me. They're like, yeah, African American, you get it,
The white.
or I would say things like, no, so there's this huge flame, our house burned down, and and I used to be white, and unfortunately,
I got
and things like that,
Yeah.
where I'm like, you can't hurt me if I'm making fun
you
of
divert
myself.
with comedy,
Yeah, of course.
self-deprecation.
So I'm good with that, but I understand and I relate to who you are. We usually end the show with $1 million question, and usually
If it costs that much, I'm out.
Here's the $1 million question. The United States announces that no one can get out, no one can get in, and acting is deemed officially illegal. You cannot do anything with acting or anything in the entertainment industry. It's just non-existent. What would Derek D do the next morning? That breath right there is why we call it the $1 million question.
Is comedy still legal?
You cannot do anything in the entertainment industry.
Oh, nothing in the entertainment
Nope.
industry.
And you can't go to another country, because I know that's the second thing you're taking. Well, I'm out, bro.
So what am I doing?
Yeah. What is the profession that you wake up and you're starting?
I'm starting a profession that that would allow people to do speeches and be funny at events, or like at their business or at their job.
So you're bootlegging the industry.
I would start a business to where people are like, oh, you're afraid to talk in front of people at your business meetings or when you have a conference. I can help you with that. So technically, I'm still performing, but it's not acting, it's not comedy. I'm just helping this guy or girl.
He's taking my job. Is basically what he's gonna do. Yeah, I got you.
How to something like that, or I guess something in the arts.
Yeah, no, I appreciate. Look, cars, yes, cars. He'll still sneak in comedy. Now he'll be getting tickets every single week.
I wouldn't be a mechanic per se, because I'm a car guy. There's different levels of car guy.
Yeah,
but
speaking of, on a quick side note, the 125cc manual cafe racer.
Oh yeah, the little.
See, I did my homework. I wrote it down.
Yeah,
you are infamous with that one. Just so you know, I can't even tell you how many times, like, we're driving in the summer in Belmore, and then I'm like, that's Derek. I missed him. I want to like take a video and be like, tag you like Derek.
That's why I bought it, to whip around
the helmet. Summer. Yeah, I would say it's iconic right now.
Because I completely customized it. Like, you can't buy what I'm riding. You could buy it, but not the way it's painted or the way I customize the lights and all this other. It's completely customized to what I want. I reupholstered the seat, and it's great. Riding around in the summer, parking in between two cars right on Ocean Ave. And that thing is screaming. It's 4 gears, so I'm changing gears. It's a motorcycle, but that thing is screaming at like 45, 50. It's like
good times. Trust me, we see you. I just sometimes wish I had my phone already out.
Oh, that's great.
But listen, ladies and gentlemen, November 23rd, Asbury Park Monologues. Be there. Make sure you get your ticket right now. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be hooking you up a whole lot. We're actually giving away.
Oh, right.
If you wanna.
The Me Studios or the Me Show.
The ME show is giving away.
The ME show is giving away
4-night, 5 days vacation to Mexico.
Yes, it's a giveaway.
It is a giveaway. It's all inclusive. Yeah. It's food, beverage, lodging. There is no timeshare, no presentation. I'm not selling your stuff. We just want to make sure that we are taking care of you. Obviously, we want to contribute and
and that's one of the probably the biggest raffle at the show. There's all different ones, and that's one of them that people can buy tickets and drop the ticket in, and there's a lot of great stuff to win. And you come to a cool, different. I get a vacation.
He gets one too, right?
maybe.
Yeah. So you let us know whenever you want. No, real talk. Whenever you want, and we'll comp one for you. So it's for 2. So make sure you get a +1.
No, I mean, hey, thank you.
Now if you heard he's single and ready to mingle, so you know what I mean. Holla at you, boy. I'll let you have the final remarks for anybody that is watching on All Things Monologue. Why? And any final thoughts that you want to share.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you want any more information on me, if you found this at all interesting, my website is derekd.com, DERKD.com. And of course, I'm producing the Asbury Park Monologues that Ali will be performing at as well. First time. He's going to be nervous and everything. So come see him. He's going to do great, though. I'm not worried about that at all. So yeah, that's AsburyParkMonologues.com. Go there and get your tickets. A little hack, though. You can get tickets at the box office right next door to House of Independence where the event is, and you pay no online fees. So $15 in advance, it's $15 instead of 18, and then it's 20 at the door. But again, yeah, I'm just a dude named Derek D. Throw a .com at the end of that, and you can find out all about me. And please come to the Asbury Park Monologues, and just, don't be a dick.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you do finish a show. With that, we appreciate and love you. And until next time, peace out, everybody.
Thank you.
Derek D here, the founder and producer of the Asbury Park Monologues, happening right here at the House of Independence on Saturday, November 23rd in beautiful Asbury Park, New Jersey. Now, not only is it a very fun and different kind of show, but you could also win raffle prizes like a trip giveaway, tickets to shows, a month gym membership, the list goes on. And that's all from our great sponsors right here. Yeah, take a good look. We got some good ones. Especially our two official sponsors, who are Mogo, Korean Fusion Tacos. And they're kind enough to give everyone who comes to the show a voucher for one free taco. No, I don't want that free taco, said no one ever. Yeah, you walk in with your ticket, we'll be like, you get a taco, you get a taco, you folks over there, you're gonna get a taco. Yeah! If they come to the show. So. Right. And our other official sponsor is NJF Worldwide. They donated one free 3-hour studio space session right here at NJF Studios in Freehold, New Jersey. Yeah, get a load of this place. You got the white cyc wall, the green screen, all the props you could need, tons of equipment. And that's just one of our awesome raffles that you could win at the show. All right. Oh, that sun feels good. So head over to AsburyParkMonologues.com for tickets and more info. But if you want to avoid those pesky online fees, just come here to the House of Independence box office at Rebel Supply Company. It's like 55 feet from the front door. Super easy. So hope to see you right here on November 23rd for the 3rd Asbury Park Monologues. I'll meet you right here. Well, in there, not here on the sidewalk. That'd be weird. Okay, cool. All right, see you there.